Hi guys, I'm C and I'm currently doing my master's in marketing at Trinity College Dublin. And I wanted to share my experience. It's officially been like 3.5 months here in Dublin because when I was doing my research in order to do my master's, I felt like there weren't that many sources or like people talking about it or like giving their experience, information, etc., about what's happening here. Um, so I thought I'll make a video about it. Yep. I'm gonna talk about how I chose Dublin, why Ireland, why Trinity, is it good? How does the job market feels like here? Is it bad or good? And where do you stay? How's the safety like? Um, yeah, or any other questions that just pops in my head while I'm talking. So, starting with how I chose Ireland and why. My first option was actually France. I really wanted to move to France, Paris, because I wanted to study luxury brand management and I really like working with luxury brands. But when I was doing my research, I found that all these courses that I wanted to study, they were always 2 years, and it just became double the expense. And my second option was to figure out a college in Dublin. Um, uh, why Trinity? Um, I initially applied for University of Galway, and I got into it. And then I got into Trinity, and I chose Trinity because personally for me, I really wanted to be in Dublin where I felt like there would be more opportunities, especially like if I want to work part time as well as for my full time job. I felt like being in Dublin would give me more opportunities rather than being in Galway. So that was my personal preference. As well as Trinity has more higher ranking. A little fun fact is that I genuinely did not know how huge Trinity actually is until I walked into the gates of Trinity and like experienced studying here because the standards they are really high. The education here is so good, like it's taught really well. It's so updated. It's something that India will take ages to follow up with. Sorry, but that's the truth. Um it's genuinely like I would say like standard education standard genuinely worth it. And Trinity is a great place to do your education. Especially my course marketing, the department is really good. The way they handle everything is like really good. How's the job market like? The job market, I mean, I've just been here for 3.5 months, and October, November is the time when you get to apply to all the graduate program roles. Um, and it's been difficult because apparently a lot of the companies here don't have their marketing department here in Ireland. They kind of outsource it. So there's like I would say less amount of opportunities when it comes to marketing specifically, but I mean it's not impossible. I'm just gonna keep like a positive, open mind, and just believe that I will get a job by the end of my course. Like I wouldn't say that it's impossible to get a job. Like yes, it is competitive. Yes, it's really difficult. But let's see. Um, and we do have like career fairs and stuff that happen here and there. Uh, they are kind of helpful. Like if you just to go around, you would be a bit disappointed because I did find like most of the companies were for finance rather than marketing, or like consulting jobs, which I don't mind doing, but I'm not that deep into. Anyways, but yeah, the job market here is okay. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure yet. Um, other than that. So if you're planning to move to Dublin or like to study here, where would you stay? So I initially was staying in this private accommodation that was like in the northern side of Dublin. It was like in Dublin 17, and I kind of didn't feel that safe, to be honest. The northern side, especially at nights, and it was really far. It was like really, really far. It was like an hour. So the distance was not my issue. I think the safety wise, I just did not feel comfortable. Um, the southern side of Dublin is much more safer. Yes, but like even right now, I live in Dublin 7, which is still the northern part, but like it's okay. It's pretty good. And whether you want to go for a student accommodation or like a private one, so that completely depends on you. So I really wanted to save money and like not go for those expensive student accommodations. That's why I went for a private one. I was paying rent of 800 per month, including utilities, for a single room, which was a very good deal. And right now I moved to a student accommodation, which is like double the price of what I used to pay before, but it's super convenient. And especially if you're someone who really likes to socialize and like make friends and like be around people and like just have that connection going around, I would prefer like a student accommodation rather than staying by your own somewhere. In that way, it's like really helpful. I think a lot of my classmates stay in the student accommodations, and these student accommodations are like super close to Trinity. I would try to look for a place which has really good like transportation, like Lewis or the bus. So yeah. Other than that, safety wise, safety wise, I mean, I grew up in Dubai, so for me, like, I'm used to living in like one of the most safest places in the world, I would say. So I'm really used to that environment, and then jumping from that to here, it comparatively it's really not safe. But then again, you would hear a lot of people say not to live in the city center. Yes, it's not that safe to live in the city center, but like once you get used to the area, you know where to go, what to do, just it's fine. It's pretty fine. Like it's not really that bad. Obviously, the southern side of Dublin is a bit more safer to live, and like it has like the newer buildings and stuff like that. So again, it's up to you. It's up to your convenience and like your preferences where you want to stay. Um, I think that's pretty much it. That's all that I wanted to cover. Bye bye. Realize that I really missed this out. A few of the cultural shocks I would say are like things that just like really shocked me knowing after coming here. One thing is, so being an Indian, you have to be worried about racism, especially with teenagers. So that was a concept that I never thought I would come across. But like in Ireland, in Dublin, you have to be worried about teenagers. Crazy. Yeah. So the advice that I get is like, don't look at them, don't talk to them, don't have anything to do with them. And the other thing is the junkies. Stay away from them. And another thing is like that really fascinated me is like when I first came here, it was like mid-August, and the sun was like setting at 8 or 9 p.m., which was crazy. But right now the sun is setting at like 4 p.m., which is again crazy. People here absolutely hate their weather, but I think it's okay. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel a bit depressing when you wake up and like the first thing you see out is like just a gloomy day and just dark and moody clouds. But I mean, it's okay. Like someone who has lived in like really harsh tropical climate, like in desert, like this is way much better than that. Trust me, you don't want to do that. I think these were like little things. I feel like older people are like always a bit more nicer to me than the younger people. I don't know, like yeah. Uh, I think overall, when I talk to my friends, a lot of them are still figuring out if they really want to be here or they want to move out of the country. Because it's like a constant like plus and minus, like this back and forth of like there's good stuff and then there's bad stuff as well. So I guess in the end, if you feel like you've found your place here, like by the end of the year, I mean, like by next year, I would have a better idea of whether I really like this place or I don't and I want to leave. But like considering the fact that I've put so much effort and like my parents have put so much effort, my family has put so much effort into me moving here, being the first person in my family to move and study abroad, like in a different country. I don't want to waste the opportunities that I'm finding myself here. So, yep. Let's say oranges don't have seeds here. Like, I don't know, like so far all the oranges that I've had here don't have seeds, which is really nice. The fruits here taste so much more nicer for some reason. Yeah, that's all I want to add.